Hey, it's Dr. Scott Watson with another Finale tutorial. In this video, we're going to be discussing how to use articulations in Finale. I'll be giving you 5 different ways. As you can see in this arrangement of the march from the Nutcracker, I already have all the articulations in, and they're the ones that we're going to be putting in this tutorial. All the staccatos and accents you see in the first line, all the slurs, the special accent at the end of the second line, and so on. Okay, in this version of the March from the Nutcracker, I've removed all the articulations so that we can put them back in. Let's get started with number 1, which is click on the note, choose from the palette. So we click on that first note, choose this staccato from the articulation selection window, and voila, there is a staccato on the first one. Let me do that one more time. So choose the articulation tool, click on the note, choose from the palette the staccato, or whatever you want, and then there it is. So that's the first way. It's a very cumbersome way because we have to click on every individual note. Now, I'm going to click on this next note and point out that where it says, where we see the staccato, we also see S in the upper right-hand corner. Or here where the accent is, we see A in the upper right-hand corner. Those are shortcuts. So if we know the shortcut, watch this. I will hold the S key down and click, and it adds the staccato. Click, adds the staccato. Click, 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 click. This one was an accent, so I'm going to hold A down. Click. You get the idea. So number 2 is hold the shortcut key down while you click, and you'll get that articulation added a lot more easily. Now, way number 3 is you can hold the shortcut down and click and hold and drag over the notes. So watch this. I'm going to hold the S down, but instead of clicking on one note, I'm going to click, hold, and drag over all of these notes and add staccato at one fell swoop. And I'll put the accent here. If I go to this line here, you can see it even better. I'm going to hold the shortcut S, go all the way here, get all those staccatos, and get all those staccatos. All right, so that's number 3. Click, hold, drag the shortcut to get to sort of mass apply an articulation. Now, way number 4 is to change the articulation that's already there by double-clicking the shortcut. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and just click, hold, and drag this whole third line and make them all staccato. However, let's zoom in here a little bit. We don't actually want them all to be staccato, right? We want this one here to be accent. So watch what happens when I double-click A. Since I've chosen it by its handle, it becomes an accent, and I'll do that over here. I'll select that one and double-click A, and it becomes an accent. So way number 4 is to double-click the shortcut to change the articulation. And our final way to put in an articulation in this brief tutorial is to use the Smart Shape tool to put in slurs. So from the Smart Shape palette, we'll select slur. If you double click one note, it will slur to the next note. So for instance, here we want to slur to the next note, we just double click on it. Here we want to slur to the next note, we just double click on it. But when we want to slur to a later note, you have to double click, hold, and then just drag until you highlight the later note. When you release it, it puts the slur in. Try that again, double click, hold, I'm not releasing until I get that note highlighted, then I can release. Again, if I want it just to the next note, double click and it adds. So a very quick way. Here we're going to, let me get rid of these staccato. We don't want staccato here, right? So I'll select all of those staccato by the handle, hit delete. But I am going to use my Smart Shape tool, double click, hold, drag, and then when I get the last one highlighted, release. And then we'll do that same thing at the end here, double click, hold, and drag to the end. So slurs, double click, hold, and drag with the Smart Shape tool, or just double click if you only want a one note slur, to the very next note. And one final little tip, fermatas are articulations for Finale. So if you're ever looking to put a fermata in a piece, you have to use the articulation tool. You can either click on the note and choose the fermata, or you can hold the shortcut F down and click on that note and put the fermata in. Oh, and one last thing. I just want to point out that Finale usually puts the articulation on the correct side of the note head. If you find it's not doing it right, double click on the articulation and choose Auto Note Head Stem Side. That will put it where it's supposed to go. If for some reason it is on one of these other ones, just make it say Auto Note Stem Side. And what that does is it means that no matter where you drag that articulation, it'll face the right direction. And regardless of how high or low a note is, for instance, Let me change how low these notes are. I'll put them much lower, and you'll notice that the staccato goes on the other side of the note head. I hope you've enjoyed this video on articulations, and now you can go ahead and add all sorts of articulations to your finale scores. Good luck.